Ladies and gentlemen, I am yours all. Welcome back to the Alpha of Graveyard Keeper, and this vain, pompous, overdressed exploiter of the masses is unfortunately my boss, so I better see what he's got for me. So, as I am now a cleric and therefore complicit in the oppression of the masses, I should be involved in our blessed activities. Wonderful. Presumably this will be used to keep them subservient to the church. Exactly, exploiting the poor and downtrodden masses for his own gain. However, if we feed them up, they will be in a fit state to launch a revolution. And it seems we have clay deposits just in front of the church. Excellent! What I need clay for, as it happens, is stone repair kits. So, I can now, hopefully, make bowls, and a cleric beginner's guide gives me my first few theological research points, and I can dig out sand and clay. Excellent! I need to make 20 bowls in order to make him a little bit happier. Exploitation, I tell you! And, oh yes, it is also Sunday, so I suppose I'd better do my part. I must continue to fool the exploitation and the aristocracy just long enough. This way I can indeed continue to gather my resources and where did I leave the sermon? It was around here somewhere. This could be tricky. Well, let's start by quickly gathering some clay. I have been busy, very busy in fact, because this is a new save game, 0.673 release, so I did a reset. I have made myself new tools. Yes, indeed. I have better tools now, and with them I can theoretically dig out more clay if I don't run myself out of energy. Of course, I could produce my own bread for that, but there's a problem there as well, because I've run out of flour. For flour, I need wheat, and well, there's a wheat farm off to the east of here between us and the village, so that's probably my next stop tomorrow. I'd also have a proper metal production facility, so that is all to the good. I can begin making my own parts, and critically, better tools and better equipment. The blacksmith will no longer proceed to take money from me for honest work. Somewhat ironic is that I actually sold him his own rusty sword in order to finance that furnace, but not to worry. I'm sure I will have the opportunity to buy it back once I have sold him some rusty tools instead. So, first things first. What do I need to do? Well, I need to get rid of these tools. As I say, I probably need to buy my sword back, and then I need to see about some clay and some bolts, which probably means building a kiln of some description, for which I will need parts and other resources, but I also need to go and investigate the farm. Oh yes, and the Inquisitor also wants my help informing upon my loyal comrades. Or maybe just the occasional backsliding counter-revolutionary, you never know. In the meantime, however, the farm should be up here. Well, not so much the farm as it is the windmill keeper. Aha! And here he is, out with the dawn, like any good working member of the proper classes. He seems to have a mole problem. The mill is broken. If I need something milled, you'd better go to the town. That's too bad, but I have nothing to mill. I live at the graveyard. You know who I am. Some old reserves I may find useful. Excellent. Well, I will trade for you. And in fact, I can pick up some flour fairly cheaply. Question is, until I have 80 rep with the miller, the question is, how do I get the rep? Well, looks like I can't talk to him in Alpha, so I will just have to trade for flour and find another way of creating my own food, because once again, I must seize the means of production, lest I be at somebody else's mercy. And let's be honest here, control of the food supply is one of the basic tools of oppression and of crushing the masses. Comrade Donkey would say so, Comrade Donkey would be right. For the moment, however, let's just yank. So I want to sell 1 rusty axe, 1 rusty shovel, and I do not in fact have the option to buy a sword. I'm just going to have to make my own, I think. So, get rid of those. Handy, I now have some spare cash. And I can drop back to the miller, pick up some flour, and make some more bread. Remember, comrades, food, bread, and land. Wait, that wasn't it. Work, bread, land. That was the old rallying cry. Well, I've got plenty of work. Not sure when Donkey's going to drop off the next body, but that's a side point. I have land. I just need bread, and I can solve that fairly shortly. Excellent. Well, trade with me then. I am going to buy all your flour. Then again, I am not in fact going to buy all your flour. I'm just going to buy such flour as I can afford. 20 should do the trick. Yoink. There we go. And then it's back to home base just to get everything set up and building. The Inquisitor should be... Actually, no, it's the Actress's day. Can't research those yet. Speaking of which, I have got a pretty full research stack. 25 natural and 55 crafting to build a replacement sword and armour. I think that has to be my next goal, because I will need some means of self-defense, unfortunately. Luckily, with these new tools, digging stuff up is a lot quicker. A lot quicker, in fact. 15 research. Well, if I make some stone headstones, that will actually increase quite rapidly, because those stone headstones, they cost more energy in this latest build. I think the devs realised just how much we were all exploiting them in order to get cheap research, but it's still pretty effective. Also, I need to smash up some more firewood, fuel the furnace, and get that producing some more iron for me. So just drop that in. I need more firewood, which means I need to chop up some more wooden billets, or rather saw them up, which means I'm running low on logs. Yep, there we go. The honest comrade's work is never done. No, I need that. Right. Choppy wood. And then drop that into the firewood. And set 1 iron ingot to go. Let's stop, pull some water. Actually, is that in the... Ah, that's where the prayer for faith went. And Donkey's dropped off the body. Excellent. Okay, so... what do I need? I need water. That's easy enough to get from the well. Yank. Grab 1 bucket. Use 1 bucket. I still don't understand why they make you use the bucket to pick up the water. You'd think they would do that at the cooking table, or possibly just let you do the dough production en masse. However, I'll just produce a whole batch of dough until around midnight, then set it baking, and then recover energy on the sleep cycle. And in fact, I have actually run out of dough, so get that cooking. Stash the rest of the dough into the chest. Hopefully it will keep. And there we go, sorted. Quick sleep to recover and save. And then Inquisitor shows up in 2 days, and I should have most of my construction projects done by that point, and the bread auto-ejected when it was complete, so we can get that going again. Ditto the iron. I love these auto-ejecting craft furnaces. I'm not sure what the ash is for, but I'm sure it'll come in handy at some point. Just dropped in there for the moment. Done. Right. Back to the church. If nothing else, I have a body to deal with. I cannot neglect the corpses, after all. I don't think I need any meat from them immediately, so we'll just chuck this guy in and read him his last rites. Yunk. build a grave site. There we go. Diggy diggy hole. Filly hole. And then I need to think about decorating the grave. Fine, 1 fresh gravestone. I've got 2 more plots in need of headstones as well, and 1 fence. So, let's... Actually, first things first. I want to head down to the library and check what I need to do to build a study table. Troll down here for the moment. Unfortunately, this is alpha, very alpha in places, and there's a bit, well, quite a bit of bugging going on down here in this build. Oops. However, I need complex parts, nails, and flitches. Okay, that's all easy enough to do. Complex parts and nails being the main problem. Well, those I can make from iron, and speaking of which, that ingot should be done by now. So, back up to the house. And hopefully Donkey will bring another body. I need the extras. Okay. Ingot. Still done. Okay, parts. Nails. Right, let's get some nails built. Then I need to think about how to build an anvil, because I'm going to need that in order to construct. I need 4 iron ingots. Well, I can get that on the go, that's easy enough. Hopefully I can then just get rid of the wooden anvil to save some space. In the meantime, however, let's get these going. Unfortunately, as I said, making stone gravestones now requires an absolute ton of energy. And therefore, bread. Lots of. The trunks, by the way, are local storage, so this trunk feeds all of these production components. The trunk at the church will presumably feed the sermons, etc. Just grab some more bread, get another batch cooking. How am I for fuel? Pretty good. Yink. Chug a bit more bread. In fact, chug both. That's gained 24 energy. There we go. Job done. And how am I doing on research to webs? I need another 7 or so nature research in order to get that done. Which I can do pretty... Yeah, no, that wasn't what I meant to do. And that wasn't what I meant to do either. Accidental autosave. Okay, dough is cooking. If I'm careful, if I drop the dough in there, I think the trunk will... Yeah, perfect. The chest can be accessed here, so it's just convenience, really, while the bread's cooking its way up. Okay, iron. How are you doing? Need more fuel. Right. Remind me at some point to start figuring out how to mine coal. Firewood. However, choppy wood, choppy wood. There we go. Fuel made, and iron cooking. First of 4. Bread's done. Get the next batch on the go. Another little issue we've got with the furnace is that some of the green research, which I really need right now, is stuck in the furnace. No, I'm not reaching in there, it's hot. Time for a well-earned rest. Another day of striving to render myself free of capitalist oppression draws to a close. Also, frame rate is tanking something horrid in the sleep cycle. Again, it's this new build, basically. Another bread, no, I'm out of fuel. Fine. Cook up some more regular fuel here. And yoink, off you go. Right. And away. The furnace, unfortunately, takes a while. It's almost done. Another 10 seconds or so, maybe less. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Sorted. Right. I do, however, need more firewood. Wooden billets, I'm out of those. Cycle it round. And then I need to go and get some more wood, which which means chopping down some more trees. I am also apparently out of stuff, so drop the ash in there. Drop the parts in as well, since I don't really need to carry those around. Ditto the flitch. And okay, we're pretty good in that respect. Let's grab these wood billets. Build some more firewood. Fuel up the... Actually, I can fuel up 2 shots, can't I? 1, 2, 3. We'll fuel once. There we go. And right, next thing that's on the go. Drop the iron in there for the moment. And then... tree time, I think. Comrade Tree, you will serve gloriously with your sacrifice. Yeah. You will, however, go in the rack where you need to be put. So, there we are. Okay, so wood restocked, stone restocked, iron is cooking. I need to figure out how to build that anvil. Also, I need to go and work out how to work clay. Might have actually had some clay. It doesn't seem to be anything there though, unless it's in the wood bench. But no, it doesn't make mention of it. Can build a chisel, but need simple parts for it. Wooden planks. Well, let's hoover up a couple of these. And then build myself some grave fences. You'll notice that wood's much easier to work with than stone, of course. Stone gives better rewards, and energy is at least a vaguely replenishable resource. Okay, and speaking of stone... 45 energy. Well, I'll get started on it. We're about to hit night cycle. And if I drop 1, 2, 3 shots of bread, that should be enough to finish up. Bingo. Okay, so to bed, to the oven, to the frustration of having my research disappear up the chimney in so much smoke. And then wait, and again the frame rate is tanking right down. I'm not joking, it's doing 6 frames a second, 5.5 frames a second. I have no idea what this is going to do to the video. We'll find out. There we go. It wasn't doing this in 0670, by the way. It was absolutely fine. So something, I wonder if maybe it's still trying to simulate the entire world in more detail, but I'm not a coder, so I don't actually know. Anyhow, let's plonk a headstone onto this chap. And onto you as well. You have your markers now. You may rest in slightly more peace, or at least somewhat more aesthetic luxury than you were before. And of course I get to boost the graveyard's quality. I have no idea how much of a difference this makes relative to the basic 5 quality I needed to get the church open, but hey, every little helps. There we go. 15 quality graveyard. I assume that will be of benefit. And the Inquisitor's in town. I should maybe go and talk to him. But I have clay. In fact, I have quite a lot of clay, and I almost have enough research to, research a proper means of self-defense. Proper sword, proper armor. Excellent. Of course, I still need to work out how to build those bolts first and foremost. Wonder if it's in here. Nope, that's just stuff for the church. I'll need theological research to do that. What about in here? Study table, church workbench? That might be what I need. And it's certainly what I need to start getting science on. But I need complex parts for that. For which I need the anvil. For which I need the iron. Yay! Winning our freedom from the oppression of capitalism is in fact somewhat more complex than it sounds. Nothing at the morgue for me to deal with. So, how's this ingot doing? Is it done? Yes, good, it's finished. I have a suspicion that ash... Wasn't ash used in early versions of black ink? Worth considering. Okay, so we have some nails, we have simple parts. We're still building towards the anvil, however. We'll get the next one on the go. And then I think it's... Right, first things first. I need to get down to Witch Hill, see what the Inquisitor wants. And then I need to head along to the tavern, sell off those 2 burial certificates and see if I can't pick up some parts along the way. Yes, that is participating in capitalism and therefore enabling the continued oppression of the masses. But actually it's kind of necessary at this point. This revolution isn't going to supply itself. Inquisitor! Ah, there you are. I see you haven't cleaned up your pyre from last week. Ah, there's something right. That would be the smell of burnt ash, I assume. Ah! Oh, right, yes, okay, my friend. Yes, that laugh. This time the burning should go perfectly. What are you trying to do? We need to prove that no witch can escape our righteousness. You can aid the Holy Inquisition, also known as the King's Pet Pyromaniacs. Some firewood and as many advertisers flyers as you can get. Ah, right, okay. Well, 20 firewood and 10 flyers. Okay, well, firewood, I know how to make. Flyers come out of the book writing texture, which is now open to me. You see, I grabbed paper crafting, that was how I got the church workbench, and I can then go on through the scroll shelf, the bookshelf, etc. Flyers require a printing press. A simple printing press, which only requires a mere 10 theological research and 100, 250. Right, okay, that's not going to be happening anytime soon. And off goes the Inquisitor. Luckily, I don't think he's hitting me with a deadline on this one. The witch gets to survive in screaming agony as she's tortured into confessing her sins. Then again, maybe I should put a rush order on these flyers. The Holy Inquisition, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah. Still, he might be useful. After all, there will always be a problem with counter-revolutionaries and subversives who will seek to restore the old order under which they profited from the honest sweat and work of those around them. Speaking of which, I just need to send these certificates. There we are. My task is complete, and now give me according to my needs. Thank you. Speaking of which, what's going on with the garden? It was seized by the merchant to cover someone's debts. What a surprise! However, I can have permission to use the garden. Who else would agree to grow crops in the garden? Well, probably nobody. So I have an empty garden bed. And you said the garden belonged to the merchant. It's a bit tricky. He has the right to rent it, but everything to the north of the path is village property. We have a democratic community here, and I'm head of it. I see. But I still need to talk to the merchant because, well, he kind of seized it. Okay, fine, I'll go talk to the merchant. And he comes to trade with the locals and ruthlessly exploit them for profit every trade day, which is in 4 days' time. Fine, that might have to wait. You're a guard in the dark. And apparently you're also an escort to the Pyromaniac. Right. Blacksmith. Let's see. I could just... I could just buy the iron from him. That would be enough to let me make the anvil. There we go. Right, so that should be enough ingots to make the anvil. And then we're good as regards that. And I can also build a couple of... well, one stone repair kit. And generally get things up and running. And then tomorrow it will be church day once again. And I can preach a sermon and attempt to enlighten the masses unto the ways of the revolution. Look, they're all gathered in one place, they're going to be listening, and the gullible idiots will believe anything I say. It's the perfect opportunity to convert a few of them. What? It works for the regular church, doesn't it? Anyhow. Oh, pick up some stone while I'm here. Done. Okay. Ingot should be done smelting at this point. Automatic forge is a very handy thing. And yep, we're good. Right. So, next stop, build an anvil. That should do. If I can demolish this thing, it will be handy. Actually, yes, I think I can. If I just grab this, then set to remove, and then wait, because I don't know I can build everything on the anvil that I could on the wooden anvil. Turns out, yes, I can. Unfortunately, it also turns out that in order to build the complex parts, I need the simple parts. And why would I want to build a rusty hammer? Oh well, some mysteries are perhaps not so easily solved. Right. 2 complex parts created. I suppose it has the virtue of being efficient. Okay. I need more fuel, which means I need more firewood. Which means I need more wooden billets. And it's daytime, so I should probably down some food just to keep me going. Nom 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 nom. There we are. Stacked up again. Right, choppy wood. And set fuel. Set iron. Then set the next batch of bread to go, and in fact drop off the flour and the water in here, because I suspect I will then be able to exploit that in order to, save on inventory space. Still don't know how to make the clay bowls though. That's kind of awkward. Don't think I'm missing anything by way of a crafting station. Trunk, furnace, anvil, saws. Nope, no, I'm not missing anything at this side. Meaning it must be at the church, probably at the study table, for which I need the advanced parts. Wait a second, did Donkey drop off a body? Yes, Donkey did drop off a body. So, let's go bury this, raise some more cash, and then you guessed it, trade it to the blacksmith for parts, or at least in this case, for ingots. One or the other, it depends which way is going to be the more efficient. For the moment, though, I need to dig a grave. Oh, I said dig a grave, not remove one. There we go. And 1, 2, 3, 4. In you go. Buried. And marked. Sorted. So, now all I have to do is... Oh yes, I was thinking about preaching a sermon tomorrow morning. Oh, that could be worse. Although I'm not sure how. So, what do I have? tools. Oh yes, anything about building a hammer at some point. And I also need to focus on making more complex parts. But that's all of a problem for next time. Until then, ladies and gentlemen, farewell, and keep the revolution sacred in your hearts. Or not, as the case may be. See you around.